The stalwart patrons say their names with reverent pride. Oh, I love that
Are you
music.
troubled by strange noises in the night?
Great score, Ghostbusters 1.
Have you or your family actually seen a spook, specter, or ghost? If the answer is yes, then don't wait another minute. Just pick up the phone and call the professionals.
Call the Ghostbusters. We're ready to believe.
We're ready to pwn you.
Available soon. Call for details.
This is Tyrannicon here.
Russell, hey man.
You knew these
The game donated by MKD
by the
fan.
new Ghoster exhibit?
Yeah, why?
There's something headed your way.
And from what I've seen in the beginning, they don't stop talking. And so if I don't wait for my turn to speak, I'll never speak. So I'll be talking over these voices.
He was into the occult.
Nobody watches my videos to actually watch the game anyway. That's why they don't stick with my entire Let's Play.
Well, why don't we talk about it some other time?
It's like a cutscene with a lot of dialogue at the beginning of this game, from what I've seen.
Hey, you can't be
Of course, Ghostbusters. One of my favourite movies as a kid. I remember when this game came out at the time, and I wasn't really interested in playing it because I'm not a big fan of games based on movies, nor am I a fan of movies based on games either. I think the two things are totally different and should stay away from each other. I'm actually trying to think if there's ever been a good, well, a game I've liked based on a movie. I'm sure there are good games based on movies, but are there any that I've ever liked?
Ghostbusters, is your haunting an apparition?
Not that I can think of.
Phantasm, rape,
At least they've used the original
specter,
score on this by Elmer Bernstein from the first film.
What?
The music in the background right now.
Summon dead family members and catch them so you
The
can
score
ask
for
the
that film was
combination
amazing.
to
To me, that was the big
Yeah,
flaw
well,
of
same to you,
Ghostbusters
pal.
2. That instead of using Elmer Bernstein, Ivan Reitman brought in, I've forgotten the guy's name now, but he's a composer he used on like Twins and stuff like that, and he's boring.
Hey, it's the new cadet.
The scores just sound like you
This might be a
generic,
little dangerous.
you know,
Great. Danger is our life.
comedy scores. The original Elmer Bernstein score for Ghostbusters to me is as iconic as the silly Ghostbusters
If
theme.
you're gonna burn any
But
tickets,
this music,
do it to the new kid. You can't use Ray. Our mortgage is in his name.
that's the
I guess he's
fucking
right.
real Ghostbusters
What's your name
theme.
again, kid?
So
No
why they ditched it
names,
for the
Ray.
sequel
I
is
don't want to get too
insane.
attached to this kid. You know, just in case. You remember what happened to the last guy.
The original voice actors, but they don't sound like they're
He's
putting a
tuned
lot of
and
effort.
ready to go.
You may feel a little
It's obviously
tingle.
Bill Murray and Aykroyd. Ramus before he died, rest in peace,
We've
Ramus.
perfected an extensive and rigorous training regimen that will teach you all your equipment's basic
And
functions.
Ernie Hudson, I'm
Takes some
assuming.
time to achieve master throw skill, but it's definitely worth the effort.
According to Geo, Dan Aykroyd wrote this plot of this game.
Was that us?
I don't think so.
Dun, 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 dun,
That is some sort of psi
dun.
energy pulse. Substantial,
once
significant, collected and
again.
centralized necromantic convulsion, level 7 or more.
Agreed. We need EMF measurement checks now.
I'm glad they never made a Ghostbusters 3 with these guys, though, because even 2 wasn't very good. It was just made. Why do we always have to make sequels to stuff? The first film was perfect. We don't need to see any more.
Bad or very bad?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say
Let me guess.
Very
it's
bad.
a 7.
Let's just say we're about to get real busy.
Dun, 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 dun,
And that
dun.
is not the fun kind of getting busy. Is it, Ray?
Look out! Slimer's escaped again!
Just
No, wait, come back.
This music played when Ray and Winston were driving across what I assume is the Brooklyn Bridge, maybe. I know that film so well, and I mainly know it because the score is so great. I love the score for the original film. Geo, though, co-guy who runs this channel, is not a big fan of Ghostbusters film. He just thinks it's a stupid
Let's
kids
move.
film. It is a kids film, but it's a fucking great kids film. Like Star Wars, original Star Wars trilogy is a kids film.
there it is.
But
It
it's
seems
fucking
oddly
great.
drawn to the containment grid.
He's been fascinated with it ever since you added the viewer to the unit.
The whole Slimer
easy now,
as a
kiddo.
cohesive
I'll
member
talk
of the
you through this.
Ghostbusters was in that
Use the
real
proton
Ghostbusters
stream to get his
cartoon
attention.
show, wasn't it? And it was a bad idea. Blast Slimer!
Not the containment unit. That's some
Put him
highly
back
sensitive
in the
equipment you're
unit.
disintegrating there, kid. Oops, you let one out.
That's my fault. I was fine-tuning the interspatial gasket this afternoon. I'll fix it. You two get those ghosts back.
Let's just pwn that ghost. Send it to hell.
He went into the sub-basement, and his escapee friend went with him.
What happens if I shoot Ray with
Come
the
on,
Ghostbuster
kid. We've got a
beam?
job for you.
They never actually
Taking the right
unleashed the
precautions,
Ghostbuster
Slimer
beam on a
promised.
human in the
More
movies.
or less. Not sure about the other guy, though.
What would have that done
Okay.
to a human? Just fry
Let's go
him?
get him then.
Probably. Just fry your face off.
Oh, and don't sweat the containment unit. It's easy to get excited your first time out with the proton stream. Egon will fix it in no time. Now, first and foremost, before things get
I
out of
own the
hand,
soundtrack to this
you
film,
want
of
to get to know
course.
your proton pack. It can be your best friend out there in the field. Everything
a
you need to
cohesive
know
unit
is
and a-
displayed on the pack itself. Here's where you keep an eye on your current physical
Blast
condition.
Ray.
The more green that's on the bar, the more damage you can sustain and still stay on your feet.
Yeah.
This bar indicates your pack's heat level. When it gets to the top, you'll want to vent the pack and keep it from shorting out and resetting.
Like those crap guns
For the
in Mass
most part,
Effect.
capturing a ghost is pretty straightforward. We break it into 3 basic steps. Sap them, cap them,
And
trap
pwn
'em.
'em.
The first step is blasting a ghost to sap its energy.
To sap its will to live, even though it doesn't live anymore.
Do it again. See that overlay on the ghost? It indicates the current accumulation.
Remember the first time I saw
of
Ghostbusters to tell a crap story from my childhood that probably nobody cares about. When it came out in '84, well, it must have been out. It was out to rent. So what? It comes out to rent about 6 months after it's been on cinema. So it must have been late '84, '85. And I was a little kid, and I was going to watch the Disney film Black Cauldron was on cinema, and we queued up for that damn movie, Black Cauldron. And right just before they let us in the cinema, the guy suddenly went, "Oh, it's full now."
Slimer was disgusting.
And as a kid, I was devastated. We went all that way to watch some Disney cartoon, and I was being sent home. So my dad went, "Let's go see what's to rent then. We'll just have our own cinema at home." And he rented out this film, Ghostbusters, that I'd never heard of. And then we got home and watched it, and I fucking adored it. I was glad that we didn't watch Black Cauldron.
All right, you got
Ghostbusters
it
is
good
way
and
better.
winded. Next stage, cap 'em. You can project the capture stream or wrangler manually using this control. On the other
Pwn
hand,
the
pack
slob
will
ghoul.
detect when a ghost is sufficiently weakened and auto-select the capture stream setting. Get in there and throw a
It makes
capture
sense,
stream on
Ray.
that tub of goo.
And that bit at the beginning, it was kind of creepy, Ghostbusters first one. That fucking library ghost scared the shit out of me.
The slam meter begins to slowly charge. If you want to accelerate the slam meter
It's
charge,
beautifully
you can
shot, the
wrangle
first
the
Ghostbusters
counter
film. Even though it's a
at the end
stupid
of the line.
comedy,
Here's how you
it's
do
brilliant
it.
production design, still good cinematography.
When he makes it
Very
fast,
big
you want to
widescreen
pull the stream
movie.
quickly in the oven. Give it a shot.
Made New York look amazing. As a kid, I was obsessed with New York. I wanted to live in New
That's
York.
it. Perfecto.
Because in the 80s, movies about New York always made it look glamorous. The Ghostbusters made it look kind of cool.
Soften him up.
Crocodile Dundee did as well. What else was there? Silly movies like The Secret of My Success, I used to like as a kid with Michael J. Fox.
Now we can move to stage
That
3,
made New
grapple.
York look real
We're gonna need
cool.
some place to put that. See the beacon
So
signal coming from the closed
did
trap? That helps you find
Wall
it when things
Street.
get crazy.
I like
When
Wall
a
Street as a
trappable
kid,
ghost
even though
moves
it's
into
not kids'
proximity,
film.
the trap will open automatically and project the trap cone. Just guide your mark into the trap
It's
cone.
very popular in movies in the 80s in New York. It was only movies were set in New York. Then, when I got into my late teens, I saw movies about probably what is the real New York, like Taxi Driver, you know, Maniac, stuff like that, which showed New York to be like a hellhole. And it didn't look so good. I still never been to New York. My brother went not so long ago, and he actually went to the Ghostbusters firehouse, the actual location, and he went to the Friends apartment exterior shot they use in the show.
And there. Oh yes. One escapee accounted.
And he went to Coney Island, which I know, of course, from the Warriors. Warriors come out to be pwned again.
We're batting 500. Slimer slipped out. Our cadet bag is.
That's what I'd be like if I went to New
Very
York.
nasty customer. Oh, and you've got to be very
Like, I
careful
could go with the
watching
girlfriend, but
streams.
I don't
In a
think she'd
word,
be too happy with
don't
just
do it.
looking at dorky movie locations.
Stings like the Dickens too.
It's the kind of thing where you almost want to go to New York with a friend or your buddies.
Hey, how come this mump gets all the new stuff?
He's our
Fake
new
man,
experimental
fake man.
technician.
He
Of
gets
course,
a
Bill
cool
Murray was my
title,
favorite
too.
character in
It means he
Ghostbusters.
gets to carry around
I thought he was
a bunch of
hilarious.
uncustody,
Even as a kid, I didn't even get the
dangerous hardware that,
jokes.
if not handled correctly, could blow him somewhere
Like the
into New
bit when he's
Jersey.
in Dana Barrett's
Oh,
apartment
this
and she
knucklehead
tells him
lugs
that the
around our very
bedroom,
dangerous
nothing ever
prototype
happened in
hardware that
there.
could potentially blow
And
us
he goes,
into
what
New
a
Jersey.
crime. As a kid, I didn't even know what he was talking
Keep the
about.
title, kid. It'll work.
But I
out
just
for you.
still thought he was funny anyway.
Scooter. We need to go. Let's roll.
And I was into the real Ghostbusters cartoon too, and we had the
Rachel
Ghostbusters
Ray.
action
Cedric
figures.
Hotel. It's the first place
And
that
the
little spud will
ghosts,
go.
bad guys.
Right. Back to its initial manifestation point.
So yeah, I'm not talking about the game much here. I'm just reminiscing about my love of the 80s and Ghostbusters.
Extend an invitation to join us at our table at the Sedgwick. Hey, you're up, buddy. Training will be on the job tonight. Try not to...
This is me, this new Ghostbuster.
That's our job.
Where the fuck's Winston, for God's sake? Has ever seen him in it? I'm sure I saw him in the background earlier.
That disgusting green blob is up on the 12th floor again, wreaking
Impossible.
havoc. I demand a refund right now.
Sir, if you check the fine print on our invoice...
Invoices.
Right, invoices. You'll see that your warranty on rehaunting expired some time ago. You should have taken the extended service agreement.
Bill Murray, like, doesn't sound like he's putting in the effort with this voice.
I'm getting some interesting PKE spikes here.
Bill Murray
Disturbances
never
don't
wanted to
seem
do
be
a third
exclusive to the
Ghostbusters
12th
though, did he?
floor. I'd like
I
the
saw
chance
loads
to
of
look around
interviews
the
with him where he
building.
didn't want to.
Good. Dig up what you can. That little greenie shouldn't cause us too much trouble.
It was the right thing to not make another one with these guys. They were too old, and also you can't now anyway, because Hal Ramis is dead. That wouldn't be the same.
Well, hello. You're perfectly safe now, Miss. The Ghostbusters are here.
Back off, loser. Never gonna happen.
That approach rarely works with me. I'll show you why later.
Into the squarey, low-resolution elevator.
All right, Ace. Get ready.
Dr. Stantz, if you do the honors.
Why is
Proud
there no
to, Dr.
Winston?
Venkman.
Part of our settlement with the city.
I know they originally wanted Eddie Murphy to play Winston.
Heavily populated public areas.
And
Would
in
have
close
been
quarters.
pretty cool.
Minimizes the city's liabilities.
I was a
and
huge Eddie
satisfies
Murphy
the
fan when I
restraining
was a
order the
kid
Navy
as well.
had put on us.
World we live in today, you shoot a proton stream of highly charged particles at someone, they get all so happy. It's him!
Same joke again. From the movie.
Nice. Now we got another plaintiff.
So,
Oh, come on, Ray. I'm the one.
Dan Aykroyd ran out of ideas for
That
jokes.
looked painful. Are you okay? That way. Watch it. Contact.
So this is just all nostalgia for the original film, but is it a good game?
Ow!
That's the question you have to ask yourself. I've got a lot of donated games to play at the moment and stuff, so people donate games and
Then we
stuff.
capture him.
But
That's
a
what
lot of
your
the time people
proton
just
stream is.
donate without checking if I've got the free time to play stuff.
You've got him on the run. Come on, let's go. Peter.
You know, always
Nah,
if you're in a
I've
hurry
seen
for me
this
to
one
play the
already.
game,
Know how it ends.
check
You two
with
have
me
fun,
that
though.
I've got
I'll
the time
cover
to play it
elevators
because
and escort any ladies safely. to
I'm
them.
about to not have much free
Yeah,
time because
okay.
of the
And
Resi
this
Zero,
looks
or
just
whatever,
like
Resi
your
7,
own
Yakuza
silver
Zero.
identity.
I've still got to play Final
Your
Fantasy
meter will flash
15.
and buzz when it detects a potential signal. The pair of goggles are linked directly to your active PKE meter. This lets you see otherwise.
Like, I wasn't going to play
undetectable
through the
phenomena
whole
on
of
your
Heavy
phone.
Rain, I was
Ghost
going to do one
trails,
video
object
on that.
bars, all kinds of cool events.
But that game was so
Now,
easy
when the
to make
center bar
fun
clicks,
of,
you're headed in the right direction.
I
When
just
it's
had to
flat,
play through the whole thing, I
following
think,
a cold
because
trail. Line
you
the
know.
target up with the smallest circle for the best scan.
it's going to make a
you got
really
it.
funny
Now just
video.
Take a scan. Way to go!
But even if this game sucks, so I was never going to make fun of it because
Green indicates an environmental paranormal
it's
anomaly.
Ghostbusters and it's the
Blue
original gang,
means an active sample.
so I wouldn't say anything bad about the original Ghostbusters film ever. Even a bad game of it. Remember the game on the Mega Drive or the Genesis as it
Getting
was known in
warmer.
America? With the jet where they had these giant heads and small bodies. I didn't even like the look of that as a kid. There were Star Wars games. I've never been interested in playing games based on movies I like. I just haven't, you know. I think the only movie based on a game that ever excited me as a kid was Aliens vs Predator, the Capcom arcade game.
Getting a good scan is sort of
That
like taking
looked
a
good
good
at the
snapshot.
time.
When you've got an entity in range, hold shuffle.
When I finally played that game, though, I was a late teen when I started getting emulators. It was a bit of a letdown. It wasn't even that good. Looked good. Didn't play that good. Didn't play as good as Final Fight.
Whoa, he's definitely been here.
So, okay, Dan Aykroyd, it's the same plot. You've gone into the same hotel with the same ghost, with the same jokes, you
An
idiot.
active sample is something you
Thank
can
God
collect,
you didn't make a
like
third
cursed
movie.
artifact. We get paid extra for everything we scan and collect. Then we roll it back into research and development.
Unless,
The
of course,
extra
it's
funds
just
let
for
us experiment
nostalgia's
with new
sake.
equipment and offensive technologies, which in turn you get to wear on your back to test. Remember, you can always review techniques, tutorials, and equipment in your online Ghostbusters field manual. It's all accessible from your PKE meter.
Excellent, Ray.
I don't feel good! Peter, come in. You okay?
Tell them that the Bill Murray movie I loved as a kid was Scrooged, which to this day is the only Christmas movie I can really stomach watching.
Double time, cadet!
Obviously, I don't count Die Hard and Lethal Weapon as Christmas movies, even though they're actually set at Christmas. You wouldn't fucking know it.
He's been slimed!
Again, the same joke, Ray!
Hustle over here and help him up, will you?
How did this even happen? I was covering the elevators. That mutant Stromboli snuck up on me. God, funked the fire again.
I know that Bill Murray often ad-libs in his movies. He often doesn't think the script's very funny, and then he makes up his own jokes.
In the pre-sliming era. Right now.
I guess probably a lot of the Ghostbusters 1 stuff was that. His own jokes.
Our living science experiment is tearing apart the lobby, and he's not alone.
More ghosts? But we gave this hotel a clean bill of health 5 years ago.
Where's Winston, Ray?
Roll the elevator, Junior.
What, you fired him?
Never mind the onion head for now. The ghost with the red cap is fighting hard to hold stasis.
Come on. He's a New York bellhop. Just hit him, right?
Hone the Ghoul. Yeah, I've never thought a game over Ghostbusters was a good idea, really.
Aim high. Get a full scan.
Shoot you, is that Egon or is that right there? It's Egon. Cross this fucking stream. We've ghouled him. Oh, I'm being phasered by the laser, the proton beam. Burn my arm off.
You don't want to do that now. Ow!
Ghostbusters became a film I used to watch. Fuck me, I must have watched it over 100 times as a kid, maybe more.
Got him in the stream.
And also Superman with Chris Reeve. That was set. It was set in Metropolis, but I think they shot it in New York. So that was another cool New York film.
That convulsive.
I remember them bashing ghosts up and down against walls to get them in the goddamn trap. But we got him. We came, we saw, we kicked the ass. Well, I hope you enjoyed this reminiscing of the 80s as much as I did. Reminiscing about it. Thanks again to Stalwart Champion MKD for donating the game. See you later, people. What did that do? Oh! 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 It took my head clean off! Sneak upon you. Whoa! What the? There was nothing even there! Huh? Hoodie Dweeb? You never saw me going to here, Hoodie Dweeb!